Welcome to Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and indeed, this is a live stream where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day, including what's going on with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Will Scooby-Doo be part of that? Say it isn't so. Really? We'll take a look at that. Mission Impossible 8 gets an update. Alien Romulus gets a new photo, as well as Deadpool and Wolverine gets a new poster. Scarlett Johansson. What's going on with that story, with the AI stuff? Very interesting stuff there. Standing ovations at con. But we start off today's stories by talking about Marvel and this apparent new update from Marvel that is going to go into, rebranding. Marvel says you can go in anywhere. You can jump in and you'll understand exactly what's going on, and it'll hopefully whet your appetite for more to come. Okay, that's kind of good news, isn't it? We like Marvel here, don't we? Marvel television banner return explained by Marvel Studios executive. Okay, so this is for the TV side of things. Agatha All Along and Daredevil Reborn. So Brad Winderbaum said this, and let's see if you agree with what he's saying here. We want to make sure that Marvel stays an open door for people to come in and explore. On the heels of Endgame, I think there was maybe a little bit of an obligation to watch absolutely everything in order to watch anything. As you know, as comic fans, they're designed to just pop in, find something that you like, and then use that as a gateway into that universe. And then you can decide what you want based around your own preferences. Oh, Mr. Bond. So part of the rebranding of Marvel Studios is that I think that they'll try to tell the audience that you can jump in anywhere. They're interconnected, but they're not. What? You don't have to watch A to enjoy B. You can follow your bliss. You can follow your own preferences and find the thing you want within the tapestry of Marvel. So, if this is for the TV shows like Agatha All Along, I find that kind of hard to believe. If you haven't watched WandaVision, then will you know who Agatha really is? This will have to come afterwards, right? And then, of course, they mentioned Daredevil Born Again, which is going to be having a trailer coming soon, right? The people out there that do the fake trailers have really been trying to cash in on it. And I'm looking forward to Daredevil Born Again. We will be doing full live watch-alongs when it comes out. But this just goes to highlight some of the problems with the MCU as a whole. Okay, fine. It almost seems like they were using this kind of a methodology for their movies, right? Where it was like, was the Marvels really tied into, say, anything that was going on in Thor? No. So it kind of makes sense now why things felt so disjointed. But people were complaining about that in the movies, that they seem to lack a sense of direction. Where are we going with this? And this quote, on the surface, seems like it's sound, like the logic makes sense. But listen to this again. You can jump in anywhere. They're interconnected, but they're not. So what that means is that, okay, yes, the Marvels takes place in the same universe as Eternals, but it'll have nothing to do with the ramifications of Eternals, even though a huge thing crashed into the ocean or whatever. We're never going to see that again. And I think that's what people are tired of, right? Do you guys like this rebranding, sort of? Did you have to watch Echo or Miss Marvel to figure out what was going on with certain things? No. But you kind of have to watch certain things like WandaVision to figure out what's going on with Agatha, right? So if they're going to use that going forward, what do you think? And do you want it to transfer over to the movies as well, or do you want the movies to become a little bit more focused? Because I think this is almost the opposite. We would prefer the movies to have some kind of a focus, right? We want Iron Man and Captain America to come back in some fashion and have focus and drive towards Avengers movies like Secret Wars and whatever Kang Dynasty has morphed into. You guys like this? Does it make sense? Marvel says, jump right in. Don't worry. Who cares if it makes sense? It's not supposed to. It's only supposed to appeal to comic book fans. Then what about the mandate of trying to appeal to a wider audience? It's a bit of a convoluted statement that I know that a lot of people will twist and turn to sensationalize to make headlines and videos, but we'll see. My friend in the live chat says, hey, I don't care about focus. I don't care about the stars. I want a good story and leave the politics behind. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of us want. Just focusing on making a good movie. And they just haven't seemed to be able to do that. At least not recently. Like, what was the last? Well, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was. But that was envisioned to be a 3-part movie series, right? And under the helm of James Gunn. But like Thor: Love and Thunder, what was what's that driving towards? Really? Chris Hemsworth even came out and said that that's not worthwhile. Do you guys like this new mandate for the TV series stuff? They said that they were going to pull back now on some of the TV stuff. So I know that they've shot Ironheart already, which I'm not really looking forward to. What's another one that I'm not looking forward to? Yeah, there was a new Vision one that was going to come out too, right? But Marvel says jump right in. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. What's going on with this Scarlett Johansson story that everybody's talking about? This open AI thing. Now, if you don't know, Scarlett Johansson is one of my favorite actresses of all time. She flip-flops between 1 and 2, between her and Jennifer Lawrence. There's not a movie that I won't watch her in. I think she's absolutely fantastic. So she's trending right now with headlines and stuff, and there's this AI story. So let's take a look. OpenAI suspends Chat GPT voice that sounds like Scarlett Johansson in Her, an AI movie that should not deliberately mimic a celebrity's distinct voice. Ah, yes. That movie with Joaquin Phoenix where he falls in love with his phone's AI, right? It's his phone's operating system that sounds like Scarlett Johansson. Did you guys like this movie? A lot of people did, actually. Critics liked it, and audiences seemed to like it. I thought it was too long. It was like 1 hour and 59 minutes. It was a quick, simple premise that should have been only about 1 hour and a half. But yes, Scarlett Johansson was the voice in that, so people were clamoring for her to be the voice of this new Chat GPT thing. And then it kind of got pulled away because I guess she learned about it. Scarlett Johansson learned about it, and she was not all that enthused. She says she was shocked and angered over OpenAI's use of a voice that was eerily similar to mine, she says. And of course, as I said, I am a huge Scarlett Jo fan. I'll watch her in anything, so I will always side with her. But unfortunately, guys, we got to come down to brass tacks. This is where AI is going. And whether they like it or not, there's always going to be some kind of backdoor patch that the underground will develop so that if they don't want you to have her voice on your phone, you're going to be able to get her voice on your phone regardless. So there's got to be ways that they would get monetized for that somehow. That's what I would say. Like if the phone is heard using her voice signature, then she just gets a residual. That's the only way you can do it. Because this goes to echo some of what's going on with the industry right now, the movie industry, where they're battling AI scripts, AI. Once you sign on to a movie that has visual effects, they can take your visage and voice now, right? Like they, uh, James Earl Jones gave Star Wars permission, Lucasfilm permission to use his voice indefinitely for Darth Vader. So there will never be a new voice for Darth Vader. It will always be James Earl Jones, but it will be an AI version of that. Um, Companies now want you to sign up and sign an agreement where they can use your face forever, so they don't have to keep on hiring extras. And if you sign up for a movie, then they can use your face for indefinitely. This is the kind of thing that AI, the dangers are for actresses that are trying to make their money off of their own, visage, right? Their own voices. And as much as they want to fight against it, this is sort of like the Napster type of thing, where it's kind of like it's going to happen anyway, and you can monetize it some way somehow. You're a public figure, sadly, and it's going to happen that way. But I side with her that it sucks. So they did take it down, and a lot of the influencers like on TikTok and stuff, or like I saw this morning, people were like, what happened to my Scarlett Johansson voice? What happened to my Scarlett Johansson voice? It was like, well, I'm sorry, guys. Right now, they're still under the umbrella where legally they can get a slap on the wrists, if not worse, right? So this just goes that way. What do you guys think about this Scarlett Johansson story that's out in the news right now? I think it just kind of opens the door to, well, you could have anybody's voice. And I thought about this, and it's kind of a sad thing. If you could have anybody's voice, who would you have? Would you have a family member? Would you have your mom and dad be the voice on your phone? After they die, forever, your mom will be the voice of your phone. Like that paints some, I don't know. I don't know if I on the surface I'd like that, but after she's gone, I kind of want to, have a few memories of her video wise and maybe soundbite wise, but I don't want to have a fake version of her like in my life. Like celebrities, they're going to get done dirty by this, and they got to brace themselves, because my instinct would be sign me up for some Taylor Swift. I want Taylor Swift to be the voice on my phone. She probably wouldn't. She's not going to agree to it, but there will be some underground patches that will make that happen for us. You can't get away from it. And when robots come around, they're going to look like them as well. So what do you guys think? Who would you have as your AI voice? Let me know in the comments below. Bifer says I would put James from Miro Domains on my phone. Well, there's that too. Hey, if you find my voice that entertaining, by all means, hey, it is what it is. But that's the Scarlett Johansson story. It comes with its words of caution from AI. Okay. Deadpool and Wolverine is back in the headlines, and it's because they got a new poster out. They've been dropping a lot of these little TV spots and stuff that are rather cheeky. Comes out July 26th. There's one where Deadpool stabs Wolverine in the groin. And then Wolverine stabs him in the groin. And it's kind of like, it's laced with profanity. And it's clever that they're doing that, because parents need to know this new Deadpool movie is not for wee kids. Ryan Reynolds was surprised when Disney allowed Deadpool and Wolverine to be R-rated. And we've seen from the trailers ourselves, guys, it's F-bomb this. Every second word is an F-bomb, because these two are going to be trading off with each other, and that's the selling point of the movie. And I'm glad that they've got that new poster out now. They dropped a new poster that you can see that they put an R there, but the marketing is in full force now that the tickets have gone on sale. And what do you guys think about that new poster and the R rating stuff? I think it's necessary, because one thing you don't want to do is have like 7 and 8-year-olds in the theater. Well, I watched it. I watched more risque stuff when I was that age. Like I wasn't afraid of things, right? So some kids will, but for the most part, you don't want angry parents coming to the theater saying, "Why did you let my kid watch this R-rated?" Well, I didn't. We didn't. You let them in because you have to let uh, with parental supervision for R-rated for small kids, right? So they're just trying to make sure they don't step on any toes. They're hedging their bets. Um, but there is another story about Deadpool and Wolverine in the coverage here that we got to do. Um, Ryan Reynolds, secret video says, declare Deadpool and Wolverines is cinema, but will not have a post-credit scene. So, if you are going in there thinking, okay, there's going to be a tease for what's next, I don't think so. And I think for the most part, most of us understand that because we know that this is, other than maybe something in Secret Wars, this will be Hugh Jackman's last time as Wolverine because they've got to move on. This is Deadpool's introduction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And because they use portals and different dimensions and stuff in this movie, we understand that this is an alternate version of Wolverine, right? Which means that they can always go back to that, but from our understanding, this will be like the last swan song for sure this time, I think, for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I don't know where you would tease it next, right? Because they don't really have anything left in they haven't really shot anything for Fantastic Four. Do you want to put on a teaser for Captain America 4? But that's gone back for reshoots, and it just goes back to that first story we talked about, the Marvel Mandate, where it's kind of like separately, right? But if you like it, then you can continue on in this world with more stuff, kind of thing. And it really feels like Deadpool and Wolverine is setting up for us to close off this chapter of the old Wolverine that we know, right? And then it'll be his introduction to Deadpool's introduction to Marvel and hopefully that version of the X-Men, right? Where we will see a new Wolverine. No post-credit scene though, guys. Are you going to stick around regardless? I'm sure that there's going to be some good needle drops. I will probably stick around just for confirmation if there's a post-credit scene. Sometimes, like most times, there's there's like a mid-credit and then there's a final one. And I would expect that maybe there might be a final one, but it'll be something just like they did the Ferris Bueller one, right? In the first one, right, where Ryan Reynolds comes around the corner and says, "That's it, we're out of here. There's no more. You can go home." That kind of thing. It won't have any kind of significance to the rest of the universe. What do you guys think about that story? Let me know in the comments below. Deadpool and Wolverine, new poster, no post-credit scene. Do you believe it? Do you want it to happen? Deadpool and Wolverine, July 26th, guys. Get your tickets now because if you live in a big metropolitan area, it's selling out in the first day. So yeah, you're gonna have to roll the dice if you're not gonna get it early. Alien Romulus is a movie that I'm really looking forward to. Alien Romulus. Did you guys like the trailers for this? The first teaser, I think, sold us for the most part when these little aliens came out, and we were like, oh, wow. The design aesthetic, very corridor, very first Alien. Well, there's a headline out now that's saying that Alien Romulus starts off like Alien and gradually becomes more like Aliens. Well, that's cool. And it kind of makes sense because in the timeline, we know that Alien Romulus takes place between Alien and Aliens. So Fede Alvarez did a very interesting job here of connecting the two with Alien Romulus. Let's see what his quote is. Alien Romulus comes out August 16th, guys. We'll talk about that at the end. I'll recap that. So Alvarez said, the environments and the pace of it as well, it's more similar to Alien for quite a bit. And then gradually, you won't even know. You feel like it's more Aliens. It's a natural progression, and it happens effortlessly. Effortlessly. So we go back to that teaser that they dropped. Okay, well, this part did remind a lot of us about Alien. And apparently, Fede Alvarez has been consulting with Ridley Scott and James Cameron. But then by the end of this little teaser, okay, Kaylee Spaney, the lead actress here, starting to look a little bit more Ripley-esque, right? With the pulse rifle going down somewhere to hunt for the xenomorph. Yeah, I'm digging this vibe, man. The inspiration for Alien Romulus. And as well, we've got a new look, a new poster from the production that we'll just take a look at. Oh, there it is right there. Total Film has this image. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. She's holding some kind of, what is that, a flamethrower or something? All right, let's see if I blow that up a little bit. Yeah, cool. I like the design. I like the aesthetic of this, the tone of this. I think they've nailed perfectly. Alien Romulus, due out August 16th. We've got to be getting a full trailer for this, right? That teaser was only like a minute. We've got to get a more in-depth trailer. Isabella Merced, we just last saw her in Madame Web. If you remembered, if you bothered to see it. What's this one about, guys? While scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying life form of the universe, the xenomorph. I'm digging what I like, everything about this movie, man. I like the designs, I like the feel, I like the tone, I like the direction, the inspiration. They're pulling from stuff that we all like as Alien fans. Alien Romulus, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hey, if you like this kind of stuff, guys, we're going to be talking more horror movie stuff here in just a little bit with Five Nights at Freddy's, and yeah, we'll be diving into that. But if you want to follow me on all the other social media handles, come join me there on TikTok and Instagram. Sometimes you get a look behind the scenes of stuff going on here on Mirror Domains as well. Hey, we do videos like talking about the new Superman suit, trailer reactions for Rings of Power and House of Dragon season 2s, Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola's trailer. We do movie reviews for things all in theaters. The Strangers, Chapter 1. If, Ryan Reynolds, we were just talking about him in Deadpool. I Saw the TV Glow. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We do full series reactions for things like Fallout. And then, of course, we do movie news throughout the week where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. So if this is your bag, come join us here on Mirror Domains. Max, Five Nights at Freddy's. Did you guys like that movie? It was received fairly well by most people. Matthew Lillard does Scooby-Doo and Five Nights at Freddy's crossover to announce Five Nights at Freddy's 2 release date. Yes, we've got a release date for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 that is slated for December 5th, 2025. But Matthew Lillard took to his Instagram to post this picture of Scooby-Doo. What? Let's see if I can pick that up a little bit bigger. Scooby-Doo and Five Nights at Freddy's? No. Guys, I tried to look for this. I tried to substantiate this. I don't think so. I think that there's going to be some kind of maybe just a dog in the background, like it'll be like an Easter egg kind of thing. Maybe that's why that's there. But we know that he was in the Scooby-Doo movies because he voiced Shaggy, right? He's just having fun. And if you go over to his Instagram, you see like some of his friends said cool, like Skeet Ulrich from Scream said it was fun. Seth Green said, "Give this to me." So the fan response has been fairly positive. People were a little bit mixed though. Like some hardcore fans didn't really like the first Five Nights at Freddy's, but it did well enough at the box office. 291 worldwide on a budget of 20 million. That's fairly conservative these days. So it's going to happen. We're going to get a second one. guaranteed, and we know that now. December 5th, 2025, and it's confirmed that Matthew Lillard has signed on for a multi-film deal. Did you guys like Five Nights at Freddy's? Do you want to see more Fazbear? There's more to be explored with this concept. It doesn't always have to be the same person that goes into the establishment that gets tormented, right? There's more that can be done. Bring in Nicolas Cage for the second one. I know that that's a little too close to Willy's Wonderland, but hey, I'd go for that. Maybe even in the third one. Have him, yeah, that's what I would do. What do you guys think about that new look from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 with Scooby-Doo? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but it's just kind of Matthew Lillard, he's just having fun. And we have to understand that as movie fans. Okay, next. Mission Impossible 8. Hannah Waddingham offers an exciting update about progress on Mission Impossible 8. Wow, Hannah Waddingham. She was in Fall Guy recently, right? So she's going to be in Mission Impossible 8. She's awesome. I got nothing bad to say about Hannah Waddingham. So she says, quote, "We're just about to start shooting again on Mission. Yes," she confirmed to Entertainment Tonight. She says that her character is a powerful woman and is quite functional in the face of dangerous missions and massive explosions and death-defying stunt work. So Mission Impossible 8 is pushed back to May 23rd, 2025. Tom Cruise says he's a gorgeous and inspirational person who gives... Oh, sorry. She says that Tom Cruise is a gorgeous and inspirational person who gives an above and beyond to bring something unique to his films. Okay, well, we know that about Tom. Tom seems like he's always been a mensch, right? Yeah, I got really nothing bad to say about Tom Cruise. I know that some people like to say, well, he's into Scientology, James, but he doesn't beat you over the head. He doesn't badger his co-stars to sign up for it like other people do, right? He doesn't do that. He's always professional. He always wants to sign autographs for people. He cares about the projects that he's working on. And I had fun with Mission Impossible 8. And Hannah Waddingham joining the cast of Mission Impossible 8. Awesome. Do you think she's taking over that kind of like Alec Baldwin type role? Or is she going to be the bad guy? I don't know. Should we pull up the IMDb for this? I think we shall. But they got to figure out a way to bring the budget down. It's pretty much almost done shooting, right? Like they had shot parts of it before the strikes. Hannah Waddingham, yeah, right there. Katie O'Brien, Love Lies Bleeding, still one of my favorite movies of the year. Vanessa Kirby, Haley Atwell, she's awesome. She's one of my favorite actresses too. Now, I don't expect Pom Klementieff to be there. Ving Rhames, we know. Wait a minute. Who are we missing here? Simon Pegg. Oh, yeah. Simon Pegg. He's there. What do you guys think about this? Hannah Waddingham. May 23rd, 2025. Mission Impossible. Interesting stuff, guys. Just to highlight that Hannah Waddingham talking about Fall Guy there. Their Fall Guy is coming to VOD tomorrow or today. I guess the 21st, right? Only 17 days after it's been in theaters. I had fun with the Fall Guy, man, and Hannah Waddingham was awesome in it. That sucks. Because if you didn't want to see it in theater, this is setting a precedent where, hey, just wait 17 days and you can stream it at home. Why do we need to spend that much money to go to the theater? They're shooting themselves in the foot with this stuff. Like I think it was Campy who said it the other day. Wasn't it better when you had to wait like 8 or 10 months after the movie was in theaters before you actually got it on VHS? And then like wouldn't be like years later until it was on TV. Because that helped drive people to the theater. There's got to be some kind of a change in the matrix of the way that theaters work and the dynamics. And the only thing I can think of is you got to make it smaller. Yeah, you can still have big auditoriums for like 300 plus people for things like Endgame, uh, Furiosa, Dune Part 2 or Dune 3 Messiah or whatever. Like big movies like Avatar and stuff like that. But for smaller movies like Fall Guy, you don't need a 300 plus theater. Um, what if you just had like a small, like take one of the big theaters that you have now, cut it into three, and you could fit three small viewing rooms in there. You would still see it on the big screen with a big sound, bigger than you would at home, and it maybe would be a little bit more of a intimate experience where you would be with people who want to see the movie. Maybe have special screenings, like you know how they have got stars and strollers for mothers, where the lights don't go down all the way, so they're in there with their small kids watching the movie. The sound's down a little bit. Have special screenings for people who are like, all right, for this screening, we're not selling tickets after a certain time period. You can't come late to this movie. In this movie, you can't have your phone. If you're caught with your phone, then you're going to be escorted out. Have special screens like that. Maybe just try those techniques instead of going to like, oh, what do you got? D box, AVX, ScreenX, like Laser, HD plus IMAX, and it's like that stuff doesn't like. If the movie is good and Fall Guy was good, it'll keep you entertained. There's got to be a way to do it without ramping up ticket prices, because you want to get traffic into the theater. Anyway, I could go on a long rant for that one. I really could. Maybe I will do like a small piece of that for myself on the side. The theaters are hurting. Anyone goes, race to the bottom. Yeah, they are hurting. And like I noticed that because I see the movies, and I go to two or three movies a week, and even for the big ones, guys, even for like um, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Doom Part 2, the theaters were not full. That's why I'm dubious. Like, unless you're living in a metropolitan area, for like Doom Part, when I said in my video for Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't need to go out and buy months in advance because the theaters are just not full. Occasionally, this will happen for like maybe Deadpool and Wolverine, but there's going to be other shows added to the slate. It will be playing every half an hour. I don't know. Anyway, what's next? Garfield. Oh no, we just talked about Garfield the other day. Garfield, the movie. The Garfield movie's Rotten Tomato score drops after U.S. embargo lifts. Yes, my niece wants to go see this one, and I'm not really all that interested in seeing it. But we looked at the tomato score yesterday. 52%. So critics are not liking it. Let's see if I can refresh that. See if it. 50% now. Yeah, that's not good. So it's going down. It's going to be below 50. And this has been a trend for the last little weekend here. Strangers is below 50%. If, with Ryan Reynolds, is below 50%. Garfield looks like it's going to continue that trend being below 50%. The Amy Winehouse biopic that I may go out and see this afternoon is below 50%. Critics are not liking stuff, man. They're not liking stuff. But the audience scores have been kind of skewed, right? Because there are Garfield fans out there that'll go see the movie. Of course they're going to like it. They're going to like it even if it's just Garfield sitting there for an hour and a half. That's why you got to take the audience score with a grain of salt. Yeah, there's going to be a disparity, but we got to figure out why this is, right? What's going on here? And we'll look at that, and we base that around box office numbers and return and stuff like that. 50%, it's dropping. You just saw that it's dropping. Did you guys like the trailers that have been dropping for this? May 24th, the Garfield movie. Chris Pratt voices. There's like some side story about him looking for his father or something. It's cute for little kids. As an adult, there's nothing in here for me. And I grew up with Garfield. I watched the cartoons, but it's going to make its money back. We know that because the story yesterday we talked about was that it made 80% of its money back from overseas sales already. So regardless of what the tomato score is going to be, wherever it lands, 40% or lower even, it doesn't matter because it's going to make its money back with the theaters not being full. So someone explain that to me. Theaters are hurting, James. But people are going out to see movies like Garfield, despite bad ratings. People are going out to see movies like The Strangers, Chapter 1, despite bad ratings. People are going out to see movies like The Exorcist, Believer, despite terrible ratings. People went out to see Madame Web. And then movies like Fall Guy, Suffer. And it should be the opposite way around. Fall Guy comes first, guys. Furiosa. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Ooh, Strangers is down to 17%. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I think, it's got to be my second favorite movie of the year right now. We're at the end of June, I'll publish my top 5 of the year for my mid-year. Right now, it's still Doom Part 2, then Kingdom, then probably Abigail, Love Lies Bleeding, and then The Beekeeper is my 5th. I don't know. I had fun with The Beekeeper. I'll have to consolidate my scores or my sheet. Let's talk about standing ovations at Cannes. Why we all really do care about standing ovations. Well, it seems like every movie that's at Cannes gets a standing ovation, regardless of the quality of it. Selena Gomez got a standing ovation the other day. Kevin Costner got a standing ovation the other day. And apparently now Sebastian Stan's movie, The Apprentice, gets an 8-minute standing ovation. This is about that the DT movie, about this guy, before The Apprentice, right? So that's why it's called The Apprentice, where Sebastian Stan plays DT. Gets a standing ovation. So it seems more like a gratuitous kind of thing. Oh, we just watched a movie. Let's stand up and clap. So, fine. This article up on Hollywood Reporter says that this kind of thing is not going anywhere because that's just the culture of Cannes. But for me, I would be skeptical. I'd be like, are you guys just doing this out of courtesy now? Like a standing ovation is when it's actually warrants it, right? I don't believe that every movie from Cannes, like that's the way it seems. Every movie has to have a standing ovation, so it's a gratuity then. Yeah, there's Sebastian Stan as DT right there, and apparently that movie, yeah, it says it's time to make movies political again, says the director. People aren't having it. In fact, the DT himself says that he wants to sue the director now. The Apprentice director shrugs off T-word lawsuit threat. Everybody talks about him suing a lot of people. They don't talk about his success rate. Yeah, he sues a lot of people, but he never. I think his success rate is not that great because it's just you hurt my feelings. I'm suing. Okay, do you have proof that this? Because when you sue for defamation or damages, you got to prove it. And if you're a billionaire, were you really damaged? Could you ever be damaged monetarily if you're a billionaire? You can't. So I have no interest in watching The Apprentice. You would have to pay me money to watch The Apprentice. I don't care if it opens people's eyes to certain aspects of his life. I just have no interest in that subject matter. Standing ovations. Past its prime? Mark Wahlberg is going to be in a movie called Flight Risk from Mel Gibson, and it lands a 2024 release. Lionsgate has announced the release date for Dave Bautista's action feature The Killer's Game as well. Mark Wahlberg. Okay. Mel Gibson directed this movie. Let's just take a look. Flight Risk. It was slated for 2023, but what's it about? An air marshal transporting a fugitive across the Alaskan wilderness via a small plane finds herself trapped when she suspects their pilot is not who he says he is. So there's a she in there. Okay, Michelle Dockery is the FBI agent. Mark Wahlberg is the pilot. So is Topher Grace the bad guy, or is Monib Abhat? Abhat. I don't even recognize this guy. Is he the bad guy? I don't know. I've never even heard of him. So maybe Topher Grace is the bad guy from Mel Gibson. I do like these small confined stories, and I do like Michelle Dockery. We just saw her in Boy Kills World. She was really good in that. And of course, she's going to be seen in the upcoming Downton Abbey 3 movie. Flight Risk. Okay. Wahlberg. 2024 release date. When is this coming? Come on, Hollywood Reporter. September 13th. The Killer's Game is September 13th. What? October 8th. October 18th. Whoops. Oh, I need to go and get a new mouse today. See how it did that? I wasn't even pressing anything. I need a new mouse. We'll sell it today. Don't worry. Okay, October 18th for Flight Risk. The only other thing that theaters could do is they would have to have some kind of transformative space. But it's hard when you've got like a theater staging area, right? Because it's stadium seating. What other space could you use that for? Could you put in a restaurant in there maybe? Have the seats come out and put in like small tables? Like, what else could you use it for? You'd have to think of ways that theaters could keep their heads above water. Because let's take a look. I'll show you what I mean here. And while I appreciate the fact that this afternoon there's like 1 o'clock showings for If and Chapter 1, Back to Black. There's that Stars and Strollers thing that I was talking about. We're watching a new release movie with a baby in tow kind of thing, right? Have like there was this theater down in Kitchener where I used to live where yeah, they had the big theaters, but then they also had these smaller contained theaters that were only holding like maybe 75 people at most. It was like the art house theater that I go to here, but the seats were better, right? It was like those small screening rooms, and if like something like Back to Black, like let's look at the seat previews for this. Is there anybody in at the 1 o'clock show? No. So like that's a losing venture, right? Like maybe that'll like I'll probably go to the 3:15 one. 2 people are there. So maybe I'll go to the three. I'm thinking that I'm going to go to the 3:15 one, but even like 6:15, people just aren't. You don't. There's time where you could be using that space because it is a big space for something else. And I don't know what else. There's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way to do it, and I just haven't figured out what it could be. Like maybe offering lunch or something. But people just want. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, that's come to a stall. I've just been thinking about it because it's something that's on my mind a lot. All right, let's go on to some hit or miss. And if it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll move on. Dolph Lundgren, Michael Jai White, and Charlotte Kirk engage in a game of assassin hide and seek for fight or flight. Action thriller. We like Dolph Lundgren. Got nothing against Michael Jai White, even though he's very critical about that Spawn reboot. He's like, we tried it, it didn't work. Michael Jai White and more. Okay, so what's this movie about? An action thriller. Shane Dax Taylor directs. Okay. Got a log line here. Sam Hayden, as an assassin of assassins, completed every assignment, no matter how dangerous, with ruthless precision. Sam's next assignment is to take out his legendarily ruthless predecessor. Oh, God. How many times have we seen that? Charles Mangold, Dolph Lundgren, who has fallen for his beautiful exotic mark and is now out on the run with her. Sam is cold, professional, and there is nothing that could sway him from his missing. What? Okay, so there's like love, intrigue in there. Isaac, he's a hitman, played by Michael Jai White, with his own people. Sam must team up with Mangold to take them on and stay alive. So, I don't know. Fight or flight. Who's this Charlotte Kirk? Does that sound familiar to me? Compulsion, The Layer, Oceans 8. It's a tad bit like Betty Gilpin, huh? The Reckoning. Did I see The Reckoning? Doesn't look familiar. Fascinating. Next. Daisy Ridley hopes to reunite with John Boyega in the new Star Wars movie. Daisy, well, of course she would absolutely like it. I just don't know if this movie's ever going to come into fruition. They're saying that it's going to happen, but we know that the Mando and Grogu movie is going to be like prioritized. Charmin Obaid-Chinoy is going to be directing. I just don't see why nobody's clamoring for this. Nobody wants this. Maybe like 2 or 3 people, but this is not going to fill out movie theaters, guys. It's not. Because you bit our hands when you made The Rise of Skywalker. It was an exercise in grotesque filmmaking at its worst. It was just people will go and see the Mando and Grogu movie, but it feels pointless, because if there's ever going to be an episode 10, she would be part of episode 10, unless they just reboot it all, wash it away, whatever. Next. Could the Fast and Furious franchise make the leap to TV? Not at the cost of it. It'd have to smaller. You know what? They were talking about doing the Ludacris and Tyrese spin-off movie, transform that into a TV series. Because I don't know who seems to like the Tyrese and Ludacris characters. I don't know why they're still in the movies. Because it's family, James, but if they're not in there to help drive the story forward, other than it pains me. It pains me, man. Now, it can't. There. That's what I'll say. Whoops. was weird. Why did that happen? Felt like it was a brownout of some kind. Weird. To keep movie theaters successful and make tons of money, I would do the best. Focus on cleanliness and safety. Focus on customer experience. Offer rom-coms, mysteries, and comedy. There's something about theaters, like the spectacles for like Avatar, Spider-Man No Way Home, that harkens back to that instinct in us to watch, like the Colosseum, Gladiators, right? That, oh, we gotta go check it out. And a lot of movies just don't offer that, right? You gotta check it out. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. There's nothing about it that makes you go, holy. Like, at least Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the visual effects, you gotta go. Even if you don't like the movie, you would say that the visual effects were wow. Next, Chris Pratt honors late Jurassic World and Guardians of the Galaxy stunt double. Yeah, we heard that the stunt double passed on, right? He was 46. Troy McFarr. So Chris Pratt pays his respects. Yeah, there they are there. So he, age of 47, sorry. The cause of death has not been disclosed. So I don't know if there was like personal issues or health issues. But Pratt, paying his respects. Courtney Cox says Matthew Perry, visits her a lot after his death. Oh, Courtney, are you somebody who believes in that ghosts are haunting you kind of thing? That's a nice sentiment. Like you feel his presence. I think it's just the memories of him that she's talking about, though, right? I think he's one of the funniest human beings in the world. He's just so funny. He's generally got a huge heart. Obviously struggled. Yeah. Or does she feel like the ghost of him actually comes to visit her? I don't know. Next. Original Friday the 13th director cuts down hopes of a new Jason movie coming soon. Sean S. Cunningham says the biggest obstacle is a studio taking chance on another film. Again, the first movie was not a big blockbuster. You don't need a reboot to be a big blockbuster. Just don't do a rehash like Strangers did. You gotta, sadly, you have to somehow reinvent the wheel for the next generation. You can still have the same types of things, slasher style kills, but that wheel has got to be reinvented. And it's not hard. I don't think it should be that hard. Arglass says they should adapt Star Wars games to big screen. People really want to see Cal Kestis storyline in the theater. Again, yes, Arglass. There's established lore with books and games. That's demand. And you know what you learn in economics? Demand, right? If there's a demand, then there's no supply. Why aren't you supplying the demand, Lucasfilm? We are. We just made a game for it. Well, if it's good enough for a game, do you think, without having a $200 million plus budget? Yeah. All right. One final one. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Image reveals the horror version of Peter Pan. Yeah, we know that the Pooh universe is what it's being called, right? They've got the... they got a Tinkerbell horror movie. They've got Bambi, the horror movie that's coming out next, right? They're all going to be interconnected. Pinocchio Unstrung, right? That's another one. And now Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Who is that? Captain Hook? It's going to have like Terrifier 3 kind of quality to it, kind of thing, right? All right, guys, that's all I have in the can. Where are we at? 56 minutes? Let's go over to the Twitterverse and see what's going on. See if I missed any big headlines. Anything is better than Peter Pan and Wendy 2023. I didn't hate that movie. It wasn't that great. I didn't hate it. New look at Alien Romulus. Yeah, we just did. A new look at Alien Romulus has been released. So let's open up this picture. Save image. Okay, so there's the team. Kaylee Spaney there. She's got the pulse rifle. So at least 2 of them there are surviving, going down into what looks like the engine room. Cool. Mikey Madison at Cannes. Did you also get a standing ovation, Mikey? Or Mickey? We talked about her the other day. Good actress. She was in Scream. Jeremy Allen White at the Emmys. The most joy that I feel from those awards showing are hearing... Okay, whatever. Will Poulter, when she found out about her Emmy nominations. Is it Emmy time? Is that why EGOT was trending the other day? It's Emmy time. I don't know who, like, I don't know anybody who sits down and watches TV anymore. Like primetime TV, like whatever's on CBS, ABC, NBC. I don't know anybody who watches any of those shows. No one. There's nobody in my immediate family. There's nobody in my extended family. I have no friends. They've all cut the cable and we're all watching stuff online like Max and Amazon Prime shows. New character posters, Hitman. Glenn Powell and Adria Arjona. I still watch Survivor season finale on Wednesday by Forsett. Oh yeah, okay. There's occasionally that. And Hell's Kitchen, I suppose. I do. But like that's like twice a year. This one I'm looking forward to. Now playing in select theaters, huh? Not anywhere near me, but if it is, I'll check it out. We'll watch it together. We're going to watch Hitman together. Because I do like Adria Arjona. Got nothing against Glenn Powell. Terrestrial TV has gone the way of the dodo, yeah. Like even the evening news. You tune in for the first 5 headlines and it's like, okay, I'll just read the rest on my phone kind of thing, right? The way that we consume media has changed, and it has affected everything from TV to like the movie theaters. New Scorsese TikTok just dropped, and I guess you have to be like Scorsese, adapt with the times, adapt or lose it, right? So there's Scorsese in his home.
Like for example, this is the original Red Shoes from the great film Red Shoes, 1949.
So he's got some movie props that he's got there. Hey, I got my movie prop. I got the Hellraiser. I got mine. The Lament configuration. It's heavy too. It's got some weight to it. It's not light. If I bash this like see how I just dropped it on the table? It's heavy. And it's sturdy too, which is good. I don't know what other movie props I would want though. I was thinking about Count Dooku's lightsaber handle because I like the curve. But I don't need like Jason's fingers or Jason's mask. I don't need that kind of stuff. I don't know what else. Josh O'Connor, yeah, okay, so we talked about that yesterday. Am I okay? Tom Hanks asking about Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. So you brought a murder weapon, James. Kudos. Yeah, it is fun. I like to play with it. It's kind of stiff, though. To get it to come out, I think maybe it's stuck. It does come out. Of course, it's not going to come out now. Maybe it's best that it doesn't. Like it does lift up and turn. Yeah, there we go. It's just it's stubborn. I just don't like to do it because it's kind of like it's fragile. So it'll go up and it turns, and then it goes back down and makes the weird kind of. so that's cool. I like that, but I don't expect a Cenobite to come out and get me. It's just fun. I want to make a video like this, like prized possessions that you have. Like I got this, but I don't really. I don't know. It's kind of like I don't like to collect a lot of material things anymore. Maybe it's just because of the age that I am at. I used to be like collectibles. Like my DVD and CD library used to be very extensive, and I've been slowly getting rid of it all because I just don't need it anymore. This I just like to have, mostly because it's funny. All right, that's it for me today, guys. I'll chop out some of these stories and put them up separately, and if anything else breaks, I'll post it up later. I do want to make a few more shorts. I was going to make a short. I need to do like a worst casting part 5. We're up to part 5 for that already? Yeah. So I needed an idea for that. There's lots. I just have to decide on one. Best death reaction. I want to do something like that. Like who reacted the best after somebody died? I think I'll do that. Because I was watching Superman. Superman after Lois dies, he's got a really awesome reaction. It hits you, right? A celebrity crush. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get down into that rabbit hole. Who's your favorite celebrity crush? Maybe I'll do that on the community tab. I need to start trying to interact more with the community tab. Because it's apparently helped. There's a new initiative on YouTube that'll help drive traffic to the community posts. So we'll see how that goes. All right, that's it for me today, guys. Let me know what you thought about some of these stories in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you next time, right here on Mirror Domains.